as women, we are very independent, self-sufficient. We are reliable. We are strong.
So I'm just starting on my Linehaul journey, looking into
Okay.
it. I just wanted to hear your story about getting into Linehaul. You are the first woman contractor that I've gotten to talk to so far, so that's very
Okay.
exciting for me as well. And then any like pitfalls, horror stories you want to tell me to avoid? I'm all ears.
I started July of 2015. I remember, I did real estate for a very long time. Always real estate. That was my passion. That's my thing. It still is. But then I remember looking at this show on the Discovery Channel, Ice Truckers.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm looking at them and I'm like, I can totally do that. Like, this is not hard. I could own a business doing, this thing. I can't drive, but I can learn. You know what I'm saying? I was saying all of that stuff. And I was like, I would love to do that. That was back in 2012, I would say. And like 2 years later, my then partner had a friend who worked for a FedEx contractor driving. And he kept telling him, hey, buy a truck, put it on with my contractor. You can make this much. And when he said it to me, I was like, oh, I always wanted to do that. Tell me more about it. And then he started to tell me about it. And I'm like, nah, that don't make sense. You're not going to make any money. But then when you do the math, okay, what's fuel? What's this? There's nothing left. That's a ripoff. I'm like, nah, I'm not interested. And then the same guy came back and said, I know a contractor that wants to sell. And I was like, okay, you have my attention. Tell me about it. This contractor was a female in Georgia. She had the 2 routes and the 2 trucks, and she wanted to get out. She was having a bad experience. She was struggling. She had a dedicated Salt Lake City team run and a Window Wild team run. And she wanted to sell. I think she wanted 70 for it. And I had the cash. So I was like, you know what? I'll give you 60. And she was like, I'll take it. And I went to Georgia and I'm like, oh my God, I'm from New York. This is in Georgia. I've never been there. But I looked at it as, this is my way to get out of the state and explore and travel and do something different and new. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And that's how I got into it. I started in the hardest month. Everybody told me this. Every manager told me. Everyone was like, you are crazy. Because I incorporated in July, and by the time I was done getting the tractors approved, everything approved, it was end of November.
Ouch.
So the last week of November, which was peak season, I got my first dispatch. Horrible experience with the second tractor that I had bought. The tractor she threw in was awesome, and an international great workhorse. The second tractor was a Freeliner from Ryder. Horrible. They duped me. It was rough, but I did it. When December ended and I went into the next year, my focus was, I need a shop. I need a shop that can fix these trucks. So I went around introducing myself to the shops in the area. A few contractors was kind enough to refer me to their shops. I did business with them. They liked me. So they went ahead and took care of the tractors for me, knowing that I was out of state. So I ran this business out of state for literally 10 years. And I did it by just, incentivizing the driver and saying, hey, can you take the truck to the shop for me? I'll give you $25. Can you pick it up? I'll Uber you there and give you $25. And I was able to get the tractor worked on, maintained.
How do most FedEx contractors go through like maintenance and shop? Do they often like contract it out to shops? Do they have their own maintenance person?
A lot of contractors, we're at the mercy of shops. I'm sure Rick has experienced that himself. It's hit or miss. You'll see a shop go in there, have a horrible experience. What I experienced was, if they don't know you and they've never met you, it's very hard to do business with them. It's very hard for them to like you. I find that going in person, introducing myself, it helped. Let's keep it real. We're women. We have an advantage, especially if you're a beautiful woman at that. No shade to Rick. But
personality is everything. Coming from New York, I know what that's about. Doing business in the South is a little bit different. They say we're a little bit hardcore and rough around the edges and aggressive and always angry. And I was like, damn, okay, let me change that. So I had to literally get on a plane and come into town and go to these shops and meet them, introduce myself, and they were like, oh wow, you much nicer in person. I built that relationship with them. And I would say you try to do good on the first few repairs. So the way I did it is every repair that came in, I paid in full. Even if it was expensive and I was just starting, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. I did it in full because I wanted to build that relationship. I wanted to, first impressions is everything. So I would say after 3 months, 4 months of doing business with that shop, then I call and I say, hey, I really want to fix this, but it's kind of expensive and we're slow, whatever the case may be. So you think you can work with me? Hey, Rosie, listen, you've been with me for 4 months. You pay your bill every week, Rosie. It's not a problem. Yeah, why not? I can give you 30 days. So 30 days that turn into 60 days. 60 days that turn into 90 days. 90 days turn into 6 months. I'm like, why did you let my bill go so high? Like, please don't let it happen again. I'm begging them.
Oh, no.
Don't let my bill get to $11,000. When it hits $3,000, please call me so I can pay you. And it's just building that relationship with the shop. They'll do anything for you and everything for you. They're not worried about getting paid because they know you're a FedEx contractor, the money's consistent. But you have FedEx contractors that are making money and don't pay either. So I've heard horror stories of the shop owner telling me they're not getting paid. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you're doing good. Your word is your bond. So if you're telling them, listen, give me 2 weeks. Oh, hey, can you split this bill for me in half? And I'll pay 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'll pay you the other half. Make sure in 2 weeks you pay the other half, because that's how you're going to build your reputation and your line of credit with that.
I know you've been in the field for like 10 years now. Can you tell me a little bit about your opinions about leasing or buying new trucks and renting trucks?
When I first started, I started with 2 used tractors, right? I went 7 years with used equipment. In my first year, 2 tractors. In my second year, 3. In my fourth year, 5. So when I got into my 3rd year, I was contemplating, should I do a new truck? I talked to 1 or 2 contractors. One contractor that I bought a route from, he had 10 leased trucks through Penske. I called him up. I said, hey, I know you mentioned that you lease your trucks. Can you tell me about your experience with the lease? And he gave me the good and the bad. The amount that I'm paying for breakdowns maintenance, I haven't had a breakdown in the 2 years that I've had the truck. So it's almost like it's a waste of money. But when I did have a breakdown, it helped. So I said, okay, new truck, used truck, leased truck, rented truck. I'm going to make the same amount of money per mile. It does not matter. So why would I take my money and spend $4,800 a month on a leased truck when I'm making the same amount of money, whether it's a new truck or a leased truck or a used truck? I love to take chances. I love to take risks. I'm going to buy me these used trucks because they're cheaper. I'm going to finance them for as far back as I can to keep the payments low, and I'm going to put a warranty on that. The first used truck that I bought, it was a learning lesson. Something bad happened with the engine block. So that was it. The truck was done. I said, okay, I'm gonna buy these 3 used trucks and I'm gonna do warranties on all of them. So I did an extended warranty on every single truck. So every time I bought a used truck, I invested in the extended warranty. So if anything went wrong, it covered me. So the used truck, nothing happened within the first 8 months. I made a lot of money and nothing happened. So when something did go wrong, no big deal. I put on a credit card. I paid it every whatever the case being, right? So that's my view and take on lease versus use versus renting. Renting is you have no choice. Either the truck is down in the shop or you need that second truck until the other one is approved. So you don't really have a choice. But I would say you're better off renting the truck and negotiating. I was able to get great deals on rentals from Penske and Ryder, where they only charge me 6 cents, 8 cents per mile and a flat whatever per week. The biggest thing is on the mileage rate. So that's where you really want to negotiate that. But yeah, you're making the same amount of money. So I wouldn't tell anyone to go buy a brand new truck for $130,000, $40,000 and start your business. I would say, give the used trucks a chance. Keep your money in the bank, and you want to invest in the extended warranties. They're expensive, but they're worth it. On the engine, on the DPF system, on the after treatment stuff, those are the biggest things, most expensive things.
I did want to ask you, you're one of the first female contractors I've got to talk to on my Linehaul journey this far. I wanted to know if being a woman is any different than being a man in the field. Do you think you get taken advantage of sometimes, treated a little differently? How would I approach that?
In recruiting, it's a catch-22. It's a little bit of both. In regards to male drivers, there will be moments where you feel as if They try to take advantage of you. They try to blindside you. They think you don't know what you're doing or what you're talking about. They try to fool you. I say play you. But at the same time, they will also work the hardest for you. Men want to prove themselves. It's like, you know what? Okay, Rosie, I got you, Rosie. No problem, Rosie. Yes, boss. Got it, boss. Because they want to prove themselves. They want to be their hero, right? Because you're a female. Let's keep it real. But then you also have the other side of it where they are the biggest crybabies, the most complaining people that you have. They whine, they complain. I've had a situation where I had to tell a driver, like, dude, like, I'm not your mother. Like, stop calling me. Figure it out. And then I've had situations where they try to play you because they feel, oh, she don't drive because I don't drive. I don't have a CDL license, right? And they say, oh, she don't drive. She don't know. Sometimes I play dumb and I just act like I don't know because I want you to tell me because I want to make sure you know. And then with the female drivers, as women, we are very independent, self-sufficient. We are reliable. We are strong. And you have moments where it starts out great with the females, female to female. Great. What's up, girl? I got you, girl. So with the females, it's like it's a catch-22. 1 minute they're the most reliable, dependable people, and then the next minute they're just like catty. It's very tricky. It's a good balance. You literally have to balance. What works for me is just keeping it professional at all times. That seems to be the only thing that works. Don't get personal, don't discuss personal stuff. Do not talk about other drivers, vent, because they're the drivers, they have the experience. So I'll be like, hey, this driver did this, what do you think about this? And it'll give me feedback. But I realized that, well, at least in the area that I am, it's just a lot of gossip and this one knows and this one knows, and it just creates a problem. So I've learned just keep it to myself and treat everybody with respect and privacy and just don't cross those lines. And it works.
Well, thank you so much, Rosie, for taking the time to talk to me. I know that I'm just getting started, but the runs I'm looking at are down in Atlanta. And if it's okay, I would love to touch base, talk about things if possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I'm here for you. Girl power, women empowering women. We are the best support systems. Like, I got you. Whatever you need, you can call me, text me.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no
it was a pleasure to see you today, and I look forward to talking to you again.
Hey everyone, today on my Linehaul journey I sat down with Rosie. Here are my takeaways. It doesn't matter if you get new trucks, rent trucks, or old trucks, you make the same money each mile. And after telling me her story, she reminded me that women are strong and independent and can make it in Linehaul. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.